guys, I'm a little frustrated today. I'm frustrated with my favorite sport, and that sport being college football. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, if you will. They left out my Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, and yes, they're my Chants as of like last week or so. We have a cheerleader at Coastal who is a big Cork Bats fan, so now Cork Bats is a big Chants fan. And if there was ever a year to allow a fox into the hen house, or like a Chant into the hen house, you know what I mean. If there was ever a year, it was this whack year. But for whatever reason, the selection committee went in the other direction and decided to disrespect them and teams like them even more. And Coastal Carolina is ranked behind a 3-loss Florida and Iowa State team and a 2-loss Oklahoma team. Why? I mean, like what? Because they play in the Sun Belt? Didn't the Sun Belt go 3-0 against the Big 12 this year? I mean, it's not a big sample size, but it's big enough for the argument I'm trying to make. And so, like, how can you say that the Big 12, a Power 5 conference, is better than the Sun Belt, a Group of 5 conference? To me, this whole selection committee thing just isn't working. I mean, why is it in every sport we ask for more computers and more technology? You know, like, oh, give us more cameras, or we need more instant replay, or give us robot umps. But when it comes to college football, we're like, yeah, give me a bunch of blue hairs in a hotel ballroom. No, you know what we need? We need Condoleezza Rice picking who's in. Like, I'm a firm believer. I'll say this. I'm a firm believer of the saying, don't be critical without offering a solution. So I've got two. My first solution, go back to the BCS computers. You can argue that you didn't like the system, but you can't argue it didn't always put in the 2 best and 2 most deserving teams in every single year. And plus, humans are inherently biased. Computers are not. That's why Tinder will allow you onto their app, but they can't get people to swipe right for your goofy face. My second solution, let Las Vegas pick the teams. You ever see their spreads? They already know who's going to win anyway. It's like they've all got a copy of Gray's Sports Almanac or something. Let them tell us who the best teams are. But no matter which road you choose, I know in my heart of hearts the right answer is not to expand the playoffs. My take on an expanded playoffs is it would be like Facebook. At first, Facebook was only for Harvard kids. Then it expanded to other schools. You had to have a .edu email address to register for the Facebook. It was exclusive, which made it cool. But then they opened up to high schools, and it got a little less fun. Still good, but a little less fun. But then they opened it up to everyone, and suddenly your parents, and heck, even your grandparents were on Facebook. Is that Aunt Cindy? Does she even own a computer? Nope, but she sure as heck's got a Facebook. I don't want to see any of those people on there. That's exactly what it would be with college football. At first, it was just 2 teams. You had to win all your games to register for the national championship. Then they opened it up to 4 teams, and in my opinion, it got a little less fun. Still good, but a little less fun. And sure, it's more football, but how often are those semifinals blowouts? I mean, do we really need more blowouts? And if they expand to 8 or more teams, it will be even less fun. 2 lost teams will be the grandparents on Facebook in this scenario. I don't want to see them on there. If you want a bigger playoff, go back to the BCS. It was a 13-week playoff, and everyone was in. If you lost, you were pretty much out of contention. That's one of the reasons why we love college football so much. Every week matters. But if you expand the playoffs, every week is going to matter less. You're going to get 2 and sometimes 3 lost teams into the mix, and in my opinion, those teams don't deserve to be national champions. And I know the argument for including 1 representative for each conference, but there are so many years where not every conference needs to be included. I mean, I thought we were all against participation trophy culture. But when it comes to college football, now it's like T-ball and everyone deserves to play. And I know the big argument, too, that the NFL has a bigger playoff and it seems to work for them. You're right. They do. And it does. Heck, FCS has a 16-team playoff. But why does FBS need to be like those sports? The NFL is going to have a 6 or 7 win team in the playoffs thanks to the NFC East. You want that in college football? Heck, college basketball has the biggest of playoff brackets. And sure, it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I love March Madness. But no one cares about the regular season. If you don't agree, check the TV ratings. And also, if you expand the playoffs, you're only going to get more of what we already have now. Pundits arguing about who's playing the best football right now. We get words like eye test and resume and quality opponents being thrown out left and right. What does this become? Like what is this? And then you've got coaches literally campaigning to get into the top 4. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but especially after a year like this, I am so over people campaigning. I don't want to see college football coaches doing it too. My point is just let the undefeateds in. If you don't think they belong, that's fine. Let them in and prove it firsthand. Right now, the college football playoff isn't the college football playoff. It's a lid store. You go into any lid store in the country, and you're only going to see the same 5 or 6 teams in every store every year. And they both do it for the same reason, money. I guess all I'm saying is this holiday, give peace a chance and give my chance a piece.
There he is, Austin Huff. At Austin Huff on Twitter, at CorkPats, CorkPats.com. My mom joined Facebook and didn't add me as a friend, so I wonder what teams we would be in that scenario. I don't know.
Maybe you should poke her.
Goodbye, all.